Good day everyone, thanks for tuning into my video, hope you're all well. Today I'm going to talk about another new Micro Four Thirds mirrorless camera. For those of you who enjoy the Micro Four Thirds system or are looking to perhaps get into it, it's actually been a pretty good few weeks for the Micro Four Thirds form factor. So 2 or 3 weeks ago we had the new camera from Olympus, the Olympus OM System OM1 Micro Four Thirds camera, which looks really awesome, packs a lot of really great looking features and a lot of power in it. But just last week I think it was, we got another new camera announcement in the Micro Four Thirds ecosystem, and that's from Panasonic. So it's their latest, being the Panasonic GH6. And I have to say, this looks a really impressive camera. I would describe it again as a hybrid camera, so good for photography and video. But given the amount of video features that they've packed into this camera, I'd say it's definitely skewed a bit more to the video side over photography. But regardless of whether you shoot both or one or the other, I think from what I've seen, this will be a really good camera that you'll really enjoy. So from all accounts, the body's got a solid feel to it, perhaps a little bit larger than perhaps what you might be used to with Micro Four Thirds, but nevertheless does appear to be a comfortable camera to hold in the hand. So a little bit about the specs of the camera. So it's got a 25 megapixel CMOS sensor. And Panasonic say that this sensor is built with what they say is parallel high and low grain readouts, which reportedly enables greater dynamic range, or dynamic range boost as Panasonic call it. It's also the first Panasonic GH camera system to use the full VariCam Vlog profile, so that's nice. Something that I'm interested in, and I know a lot of other videographers as well, is it also has waveform. So yes, waveform, which rather than just the traditional histogram. So thumbs up for me on that one. Something that Panasonic are touting with this camera, which I think is quite interesting, is they say it offers unlimited recording. Thanks to within the camera, there's a built-in fan. I do wonder whether you can hear any noise from the fan. I'm sure you can't, but something I'd be interested to know. But anyway, regardless, the unlimited recording feature is a nice touch, because I'm sure, as you know, with a lot of cameras, when you're recording, particularly in those high resolutions, often there is a time restriction to how long you can record for due to the camera's overheating, etc. So just how unlimited is unlimited, I'm not sure. Once I get my hands on one, I'll be able to test that out, but sounds promising. In terms of video, you can record 4K and 10-bit 422 up to 60p, so that's nice. It also offers 5.7K video capture, and that's at the full width up to 60p as well. If you wanted to do any slow motion stuff, which is something I like to do from time to time, you can do this with the capture in 4K, again 10-bit but 10-bit 420, and that's up to 120 frames per second. Capture formats or codecs that it supports does include the ProRes one, so ProRes 422 and ProRes 422 HQ, so that's nice. These are really excellent codecs. The camera has the 2 memory card slots, something that I think should be standard in all cameras these days. One of them does take the CF Express card, and the other is the more traditional SD card slot, supporting the UHS 2 SD format. Stabilization is another big thing with this camera, and the GH6 really boasts some quite impressive stabilization, which is actually rated up to 7.5 EV. For video or in photos, the back screen itself does offer a range of tilt functions, but it is also fully articulating, so you can swing around and adjust it to whatever angle you like. For those who like to do a bit of vlogging and recording in selfie mode, being able to adjust that screen and have it facing you is something that's really nice. So really good to see that in the camera. A couple of things to do with the photography side of it. If you're using the mechanical shutter, you can get up to 1/8,000th of a second, it's a bit of a mouthful, shutter speed. But if you're using the electronic shutter, then that can go all the way to 1/32,000th of a second shutter speed. And there is a mode on the camera called high resolution mode, which if you're using that, you can actually capture photos up to 100 megapixel. From what I've seen in terms of the sample footage, both video and photography side of things, all looks very nice. So overall, I think this is an excellent update from Panasonic and another release of an excellent Micro Four Thirds camera into the market. Would I take this one over the OM one that Olympus announced? I think there's pros and cons for both, and I'd be really wanting to try out both before I actually made a full decision on that. So I think this camera shows a lot of promise, and I think you'd be very happy if you went and invested in it. And like I always say, thanks very much for watching this video. Do subscribe to the channel, really does help, and I do appreciate that. Subscriptions are slowly growing, which is good to see. Also give the video a thumbs up, that really helps the channel, both in discovery and in YouTube's algorithm. And we'll catch you next time. See ya.